I try to literally rise to the occasion when I sit up there. And the clerk sits here, the lawyers or the parties when they sit here, the court reporter, and all these fabulous things now that we can use to help juries who sit right there understand a case. Many times over the years I have seen juries, for want of good explanations, good information provided to them, not handle cases as well as they could have. That want and the ability to provide information to them to help them understand and make decisions about cases, I think has been remedied. There have been a number of things over the years. See, look at that picture up there. That's what the old courthouse used to look like. The courtroom that existed at that time and the people that practiced law in that courtroom could not fathom what we do in here today. I have so many people, senior citizens in particular, who when I see them at the grocery store, they'll say, "Well, is court in session? How's that court going?" And I explain to them, court's in session every day. There's no lag. There's no time when court's not in session. Matter of fact, there are several systems of court that are in session. The family court is in session. The magistrate court is in session. The county commission sits in session. This court sits in session. All these things going on simultaneously. And I think it's one reason why it's a very enlightening experience for citizens to come and sit on a jury. Because they can understand a little better and appreciate, I hope, a whole lot more where their tax money goes and what we do to deserve those paychecks that we get. In here, I think, without question, we can do that job better. We can do that job more efficiently. We can do that job more effectively. The people responsible for this, and I want to start off by saying, the only thing that the circuit court had in this is begging. I got down on my knee. I had to wear a new pair of pants because my knees were worn out from praying for relief. And we got it. The county commission, the Supreme Court, and everyone else that has contributed to this, I want to thank you personally. I want to thank you on behalf of the system. I want to thank you on behalf of the citizenry who comes in here. Just the seeds that came along here not too long ago were the first changes that we had. And I literally have had people say, "I can't serve on the jury because of my back. I cannot sit in those seats." And now I can say, "Well, if you can't sit in these seats, you can't sit anywhere." I had someone the other day in a trial ask when they saw all this stuff, they said, "I got a really important question to ask." And I said, "What's that?" They said, "If I'm sitting in seats like this, with the way they can kick back and the way they're padded and all that stuff, do I get to run the remote too?" And I said, no, actually, that's run by people who know what they're doing. Thank you, Carol. All right. I hope that you can understand and appreciate how personally I felt about this. And I'd like to ask the prosecutor if he'd like to say something. Jackie, is there anything you'd like to say about this room that we work on every single day?
I like you did out here. People don't understand how much we do appreciate. It's a whole different world now. I haven't actually. We've tried one. We've tried to try a case. We had a mistrial. So I watched did a trial out here. I watched the lawyers and the way that the witnesses were able to watch things. I started looking forward to be able to try a case with all the new technology it has. It makes it, except for the lawyers, it's hard to understand unless you watch the case before we had all this stuff and then watch the case afterwards, what a difference it is. And not only the other improvements, just the way the courtroom looks and the the jury seats, he's not joking. I mean, people, they still complain about the set before, because we have 20 beforehand, they still complain when they're up there waiting to get picked. Once we get down to 12, we don't get any more complaints. They still complain like they used to complain actually during trials. And I'm like the judge, we've had several jurors who just couldn't sit because their health was too bad to sit in those seats, and really it was hard for me or the defense counsel or the judge to disagree with them. So, it is such a pleasure to work in here now. And again, I want to thank the commission who's always helped me in the way I do. And obviously, the Supreme Court has always been good to us down here in Winston County. I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with us. And I encourage people, when we have a trial up here, whether it's a civil one or a criminal trial, as the judge says, to tell you actually it's relatively interesting to kind of watch, and I think it'll be a lot easier and more interesting to watch now than we do things on screen. So I would encourage anybody, if they have an opportunity, with not necessarily one of my trials, but a civil trial or anything, to go up here and watch a day or so of it. I think you'll get a better understanding of the system. So.
Thank you very much. And I believe I can speak for the clerk and the magistrates, as well as the prosecutor, the family court judge, when he needs to have this room. I'm going to tell him no. If you look back there, if you can see under the bench, there's a little bed back there. And when my wife throws me out, I'm going to just come and sleep here. This is wonderful. Better than the Hampton Inn, I'll tell you that. But let me ask Judge Thompson if he'd like to say a couple of things, or lie to you any more than I will.
I do think this has now become a wonderful courtroom. I think a courtroom should reflect on its community. It's not, when people come in from out of town to watch a trial or watch a hearing, and it's nice that people in Lincoln County can be proud of what they have. This is a very nice courtroom. It's something that when people, you got your Charleston lawyers coming in or your Huntington lawyers coming in, this is not some little rinky-dink courtroom put into the bottom of a room closet. No, it's nice, impressive. The bench is impressive. I was found in something that Mr. Stevens said, that, and I was talking to Mr. Brumfield before we started this here today. It seems back in the older times, people would come out for entertainment to watch trials. This was before the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Court TV and things of that nature. But I would like to encourage people, citizens of Lincoln County, people, come out, watch these trials. I will tell you, some of it's not very exciting, but then some of it is very exciting. We talk about things that are going to change people's lives. Would hesitate to guess the number of people in Lincoln County that had their lives and major life decisions made in this court.